Hi, I'm Jaacob Bowden, professional golfer and explorer. In the first video, I talked about a rebrand that I'm going through to professional golfer and explorer. So part of that is just to quick recap on redefining a little bit what it means to be a professional golfer, for me to be a professional golfer, but just in general to be, what is a professional golfer? So redefining that a little bit, and then also rebranding as an explorer too, so that when I look back at my career and what I'm interested in, what the joyous part of golf for me, it's that lands in the explorative part. So I like digging into all the little rabbit holes and just seeing where this goes, seeing where this goes, seeing where this goes, trying this. So now after starting as a 27 years old as a 14 index golfer, an average length hitting golfer, and now I'm 49. I've got 22, it's 2025, so 22 years, 22 and a half years in the rear view mirror now. So I've got a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge built up, but I'm still curious, I'm still exploring, still interested. And I want to focus on that part versus like the competitive aspect of professional golf. Like what am I curious about? So a lot of these YouTube videos are going to be about just turning on the camera like this, having it be super raw. I got my little stop start thing. Maybe that'll be like the not trademark, but I don't know the word for it, but like the signature, I guess, of how I maybe can stop and start videos and how to maybe stand out in this internet pile of some good stuff, but also like garbage. So hopefully, you know, I'm going to try and have it be raw, have it be authentic, have it be lightly edited. So I want it to be real. I want you to trust what you're seeing from me. So anyway, today, so that was the first video, talked about this rebrand. And so we're doing YouTube videos like this. I'm going to be doing, starting a podcast with my wife, which we met with some friends to talk about last night. So hopefully we'll record the first video here in the next week or so. But anyway, today, the video I want to go over with here is my swing vision. And that's going to be important. Like what is it that I see for myself? Where do I want to take my swing? What do I want my swing to be? What qualities do I want to have? What kind of vibe? What kind of visuals do I want it to have? We think about the golf swing a lot as just putting up a score or getting wins. And for me, like the winning doesn't really drive me. The performance almost doesn't even. For me, it's more like just the curiosity, the spiritual growth. I like the practice, the time alone, the nature. Like I like a lot of these things surrounding golf. Like I have a true passion for playing golf. So I want to like focus on that part. So this video is going to talk about the vision that I have for my swing and where I want to take it and where I've been taking it. It's May now. I started this process, this rebranding process in January, February, and March. So I spent a lot of time here at the 5-Iron Golf in Detroit downtown, moving my swing from where it's been, the different types of swings I've used over the years, and trying to like turn the wheel of the ship towards this new vision that I have. And so I want to explain what the vision is. I'm going to start a screencast over here on one of the bays, and we'll switch over there, and then you'll be able to see two videos, like the traditional face on and down the line video camera or video views, and I'll talk through some of the qualities and positions and what I'm doing, what I want to accomplish with it, why I'm doing it, maybe some of the numbers I want to like go for, and just because I feel like I need to let you know where that is and what I'm doing with that to set up the next sequence of videos. So if I'm outside on the golf course or something, or on the driving range, or I'm doing a pitch and putt or a tournament, or or whatever, I can reference back to the swing vision, and so it's kind of like setting the stage. So let's go ahead and switch over to the bay here, and we'll get into it. All right, so we're over in the bay now, and believe it or not, this is actually the third day that I've tried to record this. I did the initial intro video here, and then with my iPhone, and then I came into a bay here and tried to use the screencast, and I ended up, my initial testing was going good, and when I was recording, I ended up recording for a couple hours. And the timer on the screencast, I could see it on the screen there. I don't know if it shows up for you, but on the bottom there's a screencast thing there. We're at 42 seconds now, 43, 44. So that once it gets to 60 minutes, it starts over, and then and the timer kept continuing. So I figured that when that happened, the first time it went over, I didn't know what was going to happen, so I just went ahead and kept recording. It looked like the timer was still going, and it looked like it was still recording, so I went ahead and went with it. But it turns out that once you go over an hour, apparently there's some problems with like the length of the screencast. So then I came back in a second day, wore the same shirt, wore the same clothes, although today I have shorts on instead of pants. But I came in the second time, and I was like, all right, well, it was 2 hours of recording, and it turns out I'm going to get multiple videos out of that, so that's good. So let me just try and do the first part of it, and then I was targeting to come in at an hour, whether that be 1 or 2 videos, and then I just lost track of time a little bit and just went over the hour mark. And I didn't know if that was like a tipping point or whatever, but I got over the hour, and then the videos ended up being bad again. I sent them to, actually the first time I forgot to send them to myself, so I thought that was the issue, but then I thought there might be an issue with 60 minutes. Second time I came in, I actually sent myself the videos, but I went over the hour mark. So this time, I'm ranting on here about this, but to the technical difficulties, but I'm going to probably, I'll try and keep an eye on the timer, go to about 30 minutes, and then I'll just stop the screencast, send that to myself, and then come back in and do another 30 minutes, and we'll just kind of like go with it like that. So what this video is about, as I was mentioning in the screencast 3-day recording days ago, is my swing vision. The original video that I posted here to kind of reactivate my digital YouTube presence was about rebranding as a professional golfer and explorer, how I want to rethink about what a professional golfer is, both just in general, but then also for myself, and try and isolate the parts of it that I like doing and eliminate the parts that I don't like about doing. And then that's also part of this exploration. So I'm using the exploration of golf mastery to evolve as a person and evolve as a spiritual being. So that's kind of like, when I look back, that those were the aspects I really liked about it. And I didn't really care for the competition. Competition, interestingly, to me, it like delves into like a fight or flight. So interestingly, when you go to tournaments, and you don't know if you can really tell just by watching on TV or by going to a game or an event or something like that, but when you're in it, it gets into that deeper basal instinct of like my village versus your village. And when you're playing in that space, you're alert because it's fight or flight. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get attacked. I either got to like get out of here or I got to like stand up and fight. So it's playing on that feeling. So it makes you come alive. So that's, I don't know, kind of a cool thing, I guess. It's survival. It's like, all right, I got to survive. It's like, I got to kill this other person or be killed. It's the competitive aspect of us. But I wouldn't call that a happy place or a joyful or a loving or fun space. And so it took me most of my career, I guess, to kind of realize that, and our society emphasizes competition so much and really values either you're winning and we give you everything and everyone else is on the losing side and they get nothing and all the winners get everything off the backs of like everyone. And it's really extreme and really out of proportion. So I don't like that aspect of it. So when I try and think about, all right, well, what a lot of pros don't even like playing golf, and when you show up at a tournament the first day, everyone's kind of like nervous. It's like you're going into battle. It's like if you imagine you're standing on the field and like this side and you're going to come together, and there's like people are losing, in wartime, people are losing control of their bodily functions. It's really smelly. It's really scary. It's not a pleasant feeling. So sports competition, at least the way that we're valuing it right now, plays with that. So it took me a really long time to figure out, like, all right, why I don't really like the competition. I don't really care about beating someone else, or I don't even know if I care, even though I was trying to learn how to win, and which I feel like I did learn how to win, and we can talk about that in another video. But I didn't care. I had empathy and compassion, and I didn't really care so much about winning, which is a funny thing to say, I guess, a professional athlete, the way it's framed in today's modern U.S. society in particular. So we're here, and we're getting into the parts that I do like. I like the nature. I like the practice. We all have gifts, just things that we're naturally good at, and things that we enjoy, and things that we lose track of time doing. And to me, there's nothing better than watching someone when they're in their joy space, when they're in they're doing something that they really love and enjoy, versus watching someone compete and fight. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. My gifts, two of my gifts are, I'm just was born as a physically and mentally strong person. I'm an athletic person. And if you want to find out what these things are for you, maybe you already know, but just ask a few people, 5 or 10 people around you that have known you for a long time, and say, like, hey, what am I really good at? We're all good at something. What are my 1 or 2 things that you think that I can just kind of do and I'm good at? And it's innate in me. It just comes with me. And you can use that to find out about yourself. So I did that, and what I got back a lot was like, oh, you're really strong. Oh, you're really athletic. And that's true. So that's part of the aspect of golf that I do like. So I like that I get to use my strength. I like to get to use my athleticism. I like that I get to use my body. To me, that feels really good. And I lose track of time when I'm doing that, and I really, really enjoy it. And then I also like the travel and the adventure of golf. I'm very comfortable being by myself, and to get good at golf, you have to spend a lot of time in solitude. So ultimately, I really enjoy, I love golf. And surprisingly, a lot of pros don't. They're in it for more shallow reasons. They're in it for maybe the competition or the fame or the extreme, trying to go for that extreme level of compensation. I wouldn't call it earnings, because I don't know. It's just what the system has decided to pay this person over this person. So I don't like to think of compensation or having money in terms of earning it, because I don't think it works like that. But anyway, so what we're thinking about in this video for me is I have this vision for my swing and where I want to take it. And in the beginning, it started out for me just wondering, as a 14 index golfer and 27 and being a computer engineer, hey, could I, if I quit my job, took $20,000 in savings and took the $20,000 I'd already put away into retirement, if I glopped all that together and just tried to play golf for a year, could I get good enough to make the PGA Tour? So that was the original thing. So I didn't really have a swing direction because I didn't really know a lot about golf. I'd played a little bit of golf. I played 1 year in high school and breaking 50 for 9 holes on a 5,000 something yard course. I forget the exact distance, but it wasn't 5,000 to 6,000. It wasn't a particularly long course. But breaking 50 or 100 for 18 holes was like my barometer of a good day. So I wasn't by any means a good golfer. And it started out with just this curiosity of like, hey, can I do this? And it started, and for me to like be 27 and catch up to Tiger, who started playing golf, picked up a club when he was 1 or 2. So a lot of people that made it on the PGA Tour had started before they were 10, or even as like 10, 11, 12, 13, that kind of thing, and they had a lot of time to get really good. So by the time they were my age then, when I was 27, they were on the tour already. So for me to like catch up, I had to either identify really quickly what it was that I need to do to transform myself rapidly and like make a really drastic transformation really rapidly too. So not only did I have to like look at all that was out there and really pick out what are the things that are going to make the most difference. What's the 80%, 20, what's the 20% that's going to, out of all that's out there, that's going to give me the 80% of like the improvement. And this, I didn't realize this then, but I think my inner strength, physical, but then mental strength also helped me be willing to try things and step outside the box with my thinking and what I was trying. And I forget there's this term, it's like the stages of innovation or adoption of like new things. And the first stage, it's like just a couple percent of people. It's like the innovators, then there's the early adopters, then like you start to get like a little bit of market penetration, then you get like the other half of market penetration. So then now you have the meat of everyone, and then at the very end, there's the very last few people, small percentage, that are just kind of stomping their feet and saying like, I'm never going to change to this new thing. So me personally, I'm on the innovator side of it. So I guess that kind of, and thus this rebrand to professional golfer and explorer. I found that over these 20 years that I like being out on the forefront and trying things and exploring things and just picking at things and poking at things and pondering. So that's what a lot of these videos are going to be about. And for this first one, now that I turned pro in 2003, started my journey in 2003, January, turned pro in July 2003, amazingly. And then now it's 2025. So it's been 22 years since I turned pro. So now I've got all this research and data that I've looked at, and I've tried a million different things. I've had a ton of success around the world, played golf in 31 countries, had world championship level success. Like I was a world ranked golfer. I won qualifiers for the World Long Drive Championships, got 5th in the Speed Golf World Championships, designed my own golf club. So like I have this huge repository of knowledge and experience now. And now also that I'm, especially when my dad died and I realized that I was kind of like pursuing golf to get his attention and I had to re-choose golf on my own accord, I really got me thinking. He died in 2022, so almost 3 years ago now. So it got me really thinking about what it is again, which is something that I've always done, but like it just got me thinking again really deeply about what is it that I like, what is it that I want to do, where do I enjoy golf? I needed to opt into golf on my own accord versus like trying to use golf and being a professional athlete just to get his attention. So where it is now, I've got a lot of things that I want to explore. But to lay the framework for that, I need to share with you, or I feel compelled to share what it is that my swing vision is. So I have all this information, all this skills, all these things I've tried in practice, in competition, just pondered and thinking about. So now I have this really good sense of the swing that I would really like to have. And it's a combination of a lot of things. So there's characteristics like qualities, like I'm a very calm person, and I'm like kind of California cool, like laid back, casual. So like for me, I can't be like coming in super quick and just being like quick and fidgety. Like I got to be like calm, relaxed. I'm in my power when I'm like calm and grounded and in that way. So there's qualities. And then there's data here. You can see how it's just these numbers here. I'll pull these off. I'm going to take these off the screen actually because we're not going to talk about numbers. But this was an 8-iron that I just hit, 175 carry basically. So let me pull the data off here. So there's going to be like a data way, a quality way of looking at it, a data way of looking at it. And then a visual way of looking at it. Now, there's a lot of, there's a difference, I guess, between, how do I say this? There's a lot of golfers that were chasing certain aesthetics in their swing, and they didn't start performing well till they put the aesthetics aside and then just focused on just getting the ball in the hole. So that is valid. Those things happen. But like, I think in my own mind, in my own head here, there is a swing. I think of it kind of like, you know, again, I'm not thinking about this from the competition standpoint or the performance or score, a little bit from the performance. I do want to play well. I'm not thinking about wins. This is just, I'm just doing this for me because I like doing this, and this is what I want to do with my swing. So I get to do, you know, we're all in control of ourselves. So, yes. Anyway, so there's a certain way that I think I can swing that, like an artist or a dancer who you go see, I don't know, like a ballerina or something, or a ballet, and they're like presenting, or a bodybuilding contest where they're like presenting their bodies in a certain way. So there's a performative aspect to like how it looks. So I'd like it to look a certain way. I'd like it to have certain qualities. I'd like it to have certain data parameters here so I have this like swing vision basically, and we're getting up to 17 minutes on the monitor here. So let's start with a few qualities first. Then I'm going to stop the video, and then I'll restart another screencast just to make sure that hopefully this works this time. And then in the second one, maybe we'll do the visual aspect of it here. So we have two cameras, a face-on camera, and then like a down-the-line camera, like a traditional camera view. So I'll go through how I want it to look, what I'm looking for, what my vision is for this swing. But first, let's talk about qualities, and I'm going to cut this off. So qualities, I really want it to be authentic to me. Like, I don't want to try and... I started my golf, and I had the good fortune of being taken under the wing by Dan Shoger and Mike Austin. And Mike Austin, for those of you who don't know, he hit a 515-yard drive in the U.S. National Senior Open when he was 64 years old in 1974 with the persimmon wood head, steel shafted head. I think it was a 43.5-inch driver, Bellata ball, so the old technology. And anytime you hit a drive like that, the conditions are going to come and play. He had a big tailwind, 30, I think the National Weather Service was like 30, 35 miles an hour reported winds that day. It was in Vegas, so I presume that maybe the ground was firm. He also drove it. It flew in front of the green and then rolled over the green. So rolling on the green, it's going to get a little bit more roll that way. I have played the hole. I don't know. I think it was Desert Rose. I think it's called the course at sunset or sunrise. I forget what the course is, but it's in Las Vegas. You can still play it. I don't know if and I've played this hole, and it's a slight dog leg right, so it's flat. And then in the old days, before they did the course renovation, the green went up. So he hit it on the front of the green, and it was like rolling up the green, and then it rolled over the back, and they found the ball on the backside there, and it was verified. There was Chandler Harper, PGA champion, a guy that won the PGA championship. He was there in the playing group to witness it. So there were a lot of witnesses that verified that that was his ball, and that was where it went. But so I had the good fortune of being taken under that guy's wing, and that was one of many factors that helped me advance so rapidly. But the thing was I was kind of learning his swing, and it wasn't my swing, and I was still learning about myself and who I am. So qualities wise, for example, I just said that, like, I know now from a lot of inner exploration again, that I'm best when I'm calm. So my swing needs to be calm. My strengths are being strong and athletic, 2 of them. So I need to use my strength, and you can use your strength, and you can use it for an accuracy swing and just kind of overpower it, or you can, like, I don't know, there's a variety of ways you can use your strength. And interestingly, I realized that early in my career, that was one of the my tolerance for risk and that strength and belief, this crazy belief in myself, was causing me to take unnecessary risk on the golf course. So I'd end up short-siding myself, or I'd go for a par 5 and 2 or something, and I put it, just leak it, just to be a little too aggressive with the line, and then trying to go for it, and then I'd put it in the water or something. So so I had to learn that about myself. So there's that. So I needed to understand my strength and how to use it. I want my swing to be athletic. So I played basketball in college, Division II college. I also had a tryout for the Twins. So I was a baseball player. So I want to bring some of the my athleticism into my swing for this swing vision. Also, there's what else do I want to say? So athleticism, calm. There's, when you look at astrologic birth charts, so this is the extent of, like, all the rabbit holes that I've gone down to, and we'll get into all this fun stuff, I think, as we go through videos. But when you look at my birth chart, an astrologic birth chart, and you plot all the signs of, like, air signs, earth signs, water signs, and fire signs, I'm very heavy air, and air is, like, very, very heady. It's a dreamer, it's communicative, you're like looking out at the stars, and I'm very low in earth, so I lack a bit of groundedness. I have a balanced amount of fire, so my passion is pretty balanced. I'm a little low in the water, so, like, when you see me, like, my emotions can be just like a little bit, I can have a little bit of a flat emotional defect. So for me, that's part of one of the reasons why I like golf is, like, golf, I'm in nature, so it pulls me out of my head and grounds me because I'm in the nature. And then if there's water around, that even makes me feel more comfortable as well, just because that kind of gives from an astrologic viewpoint, it gives me balance. And how that shows up in my golf swing, interestingly, is like when I've caught some video of myself, and people have taken photos, and even when I ran a year of cross country in high school, and there was a photo of me, and people that are it's a strength and a gift. It's a strength and a drawback, pros and cons, I guess, when you're really strong in one and really deficient in another. So for me, like, I'm gifted in the air, but, like, I can get, the downside of that might be, like, I can overanalyze, and then I can get paralyzed. I can get stuck in my head, and I like on the golf course, maybe I'm a dreamer a little bit, and really strong belief in myself. So I'm like taking unnecessary risks. So I had to really understand that. So how that showed up on a video is, like, in cross country, because I was so heady, I could see myself, there was a picture of me running, and I was like running a long distance race, very head forward. And like it was giving me some mid-back pain, but that makes sense because I was like my back here was supporting my head being forward. So that was kind of a clue from high school that I didn't really understand. I saw that I was leaning forward, so I was like, oh, I got to stand up straight. Just from a sports standpoint, I was like leaning too far forward. I didn't understand kind of another way of thinking of why that was the way it was. But then also, in a golf video, there was a tournament where I saw myself on video. I caught a clip of me from a TV camera or something, and I was walking into my shot. So I went back and did a pre-shot routine kind of thing, and then I was walking into the shot, and I was walking in very, very head forward. And then, so that was one of the impetuses for me to, as part of my pre-shot routine, is to stand back here and then take in a deep breath, breathe in the earth, and this is just a visualization. So I visualize roots growing in my feet. I visualize breathing in the air of the earth and up into my head, in my head energetic space. And then when I breathe out, I imagine the energy coming down out of my head and into the ground, and then I get rooted in the ground, and that helps get me a little bit more balanced. There's also a thing called educational kinesiology, where if you make certain movements, it can cause changes in what's going on internally inside your body with your hormones and different things like that. So like I learned about this thing where I can like put my hand, if I'm standing back here behind the ball, I can put my hand on my chest or a hand on my stomach like this, and I can just focus on like the sensation here. Helps me like pull my energy out of my head. So there's that. So I'll stand back here as part of my pre-shot routine, and I might put my hand on my stomach, but I might like also just take in, even if I'm just, if it's not like a big exaggerated breath, but I just kind of like focus on that for a second to get myself out of my head. And then so this is part of the routine. It just takes a couple seconds. And then when I'm walking in, I really consciously try and come in like in energetic balance versus like being in my head and like coming in that way. So I'm kind of diverging here, and I'm going to have to cut this off very soon here because we're at 28 minutes, and I wanted to kind of stay in the 20 to 30 minute range. Qualities. What else would I say about qualities? So there's, it might help you to write this down on a piece of paper, like what your personal swing vision is. So like kind of like being the CEO, where you come up, like a CEO thinks about the direction and who the company is going to be, like what's our vision, what's our mission going to be, and the values, how are we going to do this? So, and then you go out, and then that's who you publicly present yourself as. It's like, this is who we are, this is what we do, these are the values that we have. And then you draw those kind of people in that are interested in those mission, vision, values, and it kind of sets a framework for making decisions about where you're going to steer the ship. And like, oh, well, should we pick choice A or choice B? All right, well, which one is supporting our mission, vision, and values? Oh, it's B, so let's go down path B. So you might do this, come up with a mission, vision, values, be the CEO of your swing, and write this down on a piece of paper. I should have brought, I'll bring my paper in at some point or share it on a video, maybe one of these next videos, but like I thought about, what is it that I want in my swing? What is it that I want in my game? And then that is kind of becoming the direction that I'm steering the ship. So this vision, my swing vision, is, and me sharing that with you is part of that, because for you to understand a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about in the future, it will help to you to have seen and understand and know that this is where I'm coming from. This is my vision for my swing, for my game, for myself. So there's swing qualities: calm, use my strength, use my athleticism. I do want to have. I do think that it's possible to marry aesthetics, power, accuracy, and consistency all together. I don't know that anyone's really there. Oftentimes, when you add a power piece, it like disrupts your accuracy piece. But I think there's a way, and that's part of this going to be this exploration here. We're going to like pick at all these different aspects of the swing. It's really kind of like a digging out of the dirt in a way. Just really exploring and looking at all these different things to see what is going to be most authentic, what is going to be best, how can we marry all these things together. And then with my swing, the final bit on, I'll say, on qualities. When I was born in 1976, January 1976, I started paying attention to golf in the mid-'80s. When I was around 10 years old, started paying attention to sports in general. And that was partly because my dad was into sports, and he started signing me up for soccer and baseball and basketball, and I could see that he was into sports, and I wanted to have his attention. So like, I think that was kind of the beginnings of me like getting into sports and liking sports and following sports. But where was I going to go with that? Swing vision, sports. Oh, yes. So when I started paying attention to golf, my dad's favorite golfer was Jack Nicklaus, so I would watch him. I particularly liked seeing Greg Norman because his unique style really stood out. He had that big brim hat. He had the really light colored hair. He had a really slim hips and a big V shape, and he just had a very unique looking swing too. So like he always stood out to me. And then Fred Couples stood out to me. Like, I think that's, if you ask, put out in the golf world, who's your favorite swing of all time, I would imagine that Fred Couples is going to be like right there. Certainly, people think that he has like one of the most beautiful looking swings. And then as I got into the 90s, I think I played junior year of high school golf on the golf team one year, and that would have been maybe 92. So as I went into the 90s there, I was also really drawn to Ernie Els. He's really big and tall. I think he's like 6'3", 210, 220, really similar to me. I'm 6'2", probably about 215 today. So, and I like beautiful things. I don't need a lot, but for what I do have, I like it to be really good, and I like it to be nice. I like it to be nice looking, I guess. So I want that for my golf game. I want the beauty, the aesthetic beauty of, like, say a Fred Couples. And there's some characteristics that we're going to talk about position-wise that lend themselves to having a more effortless looking swing, an effortless looking swing, yet that is still very powerful. So let me just wrap it up there and stop this video on the qualities. And then I'm gonna, as soon as I pause and send this, I'm going to come back and do the next one. And then in that one, maybe like a part 2, we'll talk about, we'll use the split screen here to talk about and show you positions of, like, what I'm looking for in the swing, in this swing vision. And that video is going to be the what, and then perhaps a lot of the subsequent videos after that will be more of the why. So, like, why do I have a certain stance width? Why do I have my feet positioned where they are? Why am I taking a certain grip? Why am I using a certain hands in my way? Why is my backswing more vertical or more flat, or whatever. So the why will be kind of the later videos, I guess. So let me pause this. By the way, I guess I should say, if you're enjoying this, please, if you want to support me, support the channel, support what I'm doing, support my passion. We really should support more people in their passion space. So please help support me. So on YouTube, free ways you can do it. Click on an ad in the video here. Like it, share, subscribe to the channel, post comments. If you want to post some comments about what your swing vision is, I like reading the comments. That's I feel comfortable with data, so I like gathering data. That's the explorer, gathering all the info to glean insights. So I like reading comments. If you want to leave comments, that helps. I think boost the video in the YouTube world. And then also second, go to Swingman Golf. That's where my golf instruction stuff has largely existed since 2007. It's in its third iteration right now. Hopefully by this fall, I want to get it to this fourth iteration. So I need some financial support to help get it to this fourth iteration. And really kind of bring in all that I know into the site. And then lastly, pro golfers were like race car drivers, where they got logos all over them. So sponsorship. So if you feel like you connecting with me on a personal level, and you have the capability to do that, to support personally, or if you are a company and you feel like there's a brand value fit or something like that, I've got logo space on my chest here, shirt on the sleeves, hat. We can always position my golf bag, or start like a brand the videos presented by such and such. So there's that. So please support if you can. I'm going to pause this, cut this off right now, and then the next video will be showing the visuals of what I'm looking for, and then that'll open up the door to talk about all kinds of things. And eventually, I know some of you in my rebrand video, I saw some comments that people wanted to see me play golf, so we will do that also. I like playing golf. Again, it's not for the competition. It's more just I like playing there. And then I like the nature. I like the travel. I really enjoy being by myself. So we'll play some simulator golf. We'll play some regular golf. We'll work on bringing this swing vision and kind of talk through on this is a TrackMan simulator in 5-iron golf, in 5-iron golf downtown Detroit. I'll show you how I might use the TrackMan here to take a look at a couple swings, and then really pick it apart and see all right, well, this isn't quite matching the swing vision. How do we got to steer this, tweak this foot position just a little bit, tweak my hand position, tweak the club face. So we're going to steer the swing ship towards that. But eventually, yes, on-course stuff, outdoor stuff, that there is a plan for that. So let me pause it, and we'll see you in the second part of this.